I think when you ask, do you see risk or opportunity? I definitely overall see the opportunity in it, but I don't disregard the risk. I've just had to learn how to balance, when is this risk? When am I looking at this risk so long that it becomes paranoid? Because once I get stuck in that paranoid thing, I just don't even touch it.
Yeah.
So again, like, I think it's healthy to, for me, I find it to be healthy to assess the risk, but don't get stuck.
Right.
Because the devil would much rather see you stuck than see you wrestle with this thing. And that's what got me stuck a lot and afraid to make any moves, was not even just stuck on one risk, but then it's like, okay, well, now there's the barrier risk. And then the what about after that? What about after that? What about after that? And now I've built up all this anxiety over 5 steps ahead when I haven't even taken the first step. But what I've learned is, by making that first step, 9 times out of 10, all those other things I was worrying about didn't come to fruition. There's a balance in that too, of being proactive and being ready. But you don't know what you're ready for if you never make that first step.
100%.
So,
yeah, what you're talking about is preparedness. So we can't remove risk, but we can mitigate it.
yes.
And that way, when risk and moments come that are difficult to handle, can be even dangerous or destructive, we're prepared. And so just like, take riding a bike, for example. If you're struggling to learn how to ride a bike and you're jumping on it, put on some elbow pads, a helmet, mitigate the risk, mitigate the potential for injury, all those pieces. Begin to have a plan. But without buying the right equipment, without being able to throw your leg over a bike, you're never going to be able to accomplish that thing of what you're doing. And that's the same is true in business and relationships and all those pieces. And ultimately, for me, the biggest safety net that we could start and have in place in our life that can help mitigate the biggest risk of all is having a personal faith in Jesus Christ. Because at the end of the day, if you're worried about risking your heart and your time and your service and with other people and being vulnerable, well, ultimately you have to ask yourself, who's ultimately caring for your heart? Who's ultimately there supporting you, saying, hey, other people may fail you. Everyone may fail you. But my promises reign true for eternity. My word never fails you. I never go back on my promises. I will never let you down. I will never flip-flop and be emotionally unstable. I'm here for you each and every day. And so when we think about that, we have to go down to the beginning. And that's why we've talked about starting this podcast out. It's ultimately about identity all the way from creation. Knowing who we are, where it all began and where it's all going, helps us create a situation to where we have the correct things in place to say, hey, you know what? Everything could burn down around me. I can lose everything and everyone, but I can never lose the Lord. And when we have that, it gives us the courage, talking about having a plan, being prepared, and having a source that we can use to operate out of. When we have the Lord, it gives us the opportunity to face risk and reap the rewards that those opportunities bring. But without that, when we depend on ourselves, when everything around us crumbles, in essence, we do lose everything because we don't have the ultimate protection in the first place.
My favorite visual example of that from the Bible is when Peter walks on water.
Yeah.
And he notices the storm behind him and he starts drowning. And he stuck his hand up, said, Lord, save me.
Yeah.
And Jesus pulled him out of the water and said, you have little faith, why do you doubt?
Yeah.
I actually have that tattooed on me right here. But for me, it's that reminder of when I'm drowning, is it because, like, who am I focused on? Where's my mind idling? Am I idling in this fear, or am I idling in the confidence knowing that God's right behind me the whole time?
That's the kicker. You're right.
And for me, it is again, like it's I have it right here, but there are moments I'm even feeling it right now. If I'm being honest, like I feel like I'm drowning a little bit. We've been talking about consistency, and it's been kicking my butt. So I feel like I'm drowning a little bit. But when I think of that quote, I'm forgetting who's standing right behind me. I forget who I'm walking with in those moments, and it's something that when I look at everything that I'm drowning in right now, it's ultimately a blessing. Like, and it's really hard to like keep that momentum going because like, I'm a little stressed right now. Like I have this going on. I have a lot of things going on, but this is what I asked for. This is what I prayed for. So why am I doubting? Like, why am I feeling like it's only me doing it when I know for a fact God has his hand over it? So I constantly need that reminder of where's your faith at? How much faith do you have in this moment right now? Are you trusting yourself or are you trusting the Lord? And that's just something I have to keep grinding almost every day.
100%, yeah.
Who am I trusting in this moment?
100%.
Sorry, one more Stephen Furtick thing that I really love that he talked about was if you're walking in your anointed purpose, the pressure's not on you anymore, it's on God. Because he called you to this thing. He put these things on you. Now the pressure is on him to make these things work. Not saying we don't have any we don't have a role to play in that. We definitely do.
Yeah.
But if we're walking in what he anointed us to do, he's going to take care of those 5 steps ahead for us. We'll get there when we get there. We just need to be stuck on taking that first step, taking the second step. One at a time. Everything else is going to come. And when I shifted to that perspective, suddenly I was less fearful, less anxiety driven, because I look around and I see what I have to work with right now. What do I need to take care of today? Yeah. And by taking care of the people that I'm working with, by taking care of what I need to be taken care of, it has taken care of me. It's taken care of me in ways I couldn't even plan. Yeah.
You spoke on exactly what we started out with. It's all about perspective. I mean, if you compare your circumstances to somebody else or to what's going on in the day or what the news says or whatever it is, and you compare it to something that small-minded, it's going to seem scary and overwhelming. But when you compare it to kingdom-minded things and on a timeline of eternity, it suddenly is like, okay, like up or down, good or bad. Once again, I have the Lord. I get to live here for, as the Bible calls it, I'm but a mist and a vapor, but a very short time. And then I get to go home. I get to go home. And when you begin to open and increase your perspective onto positive things and things that are true and things that are much bigger than just you as an individual, like you were saying, suddenly the pressure's not on me. I get to experience these things and I get to go on the mission that God's calling me to. And when I do that, as long as I'm being obedient, being disciplined, as you touched on a while ago, and I'm seeking out the things he created me for, it doesn't matter whether it brings a lot of money or little money. It doesn't matter the size of the house if I have a house. At the end of the day, having a life well spent is different than just spending life.
Well, I think you said it there too, very subtly, but shifting that mindset from this is what I have to do to this is what I get to do.
Yeah, it sounds subtle and it sounds small and easy, but actually not just practicing it starting out, but letting that become part of your life is harder than a lot of people realize. And a lot of people aren't even aware that that's an opportunity, a chance that you can take in shifting your life. And how you speak about, once again, do you see risk or opportunity? I get to, as opposed to I have to, is crazy and how much it can impact your daily life.